Namaste. Let's discuss Sonnet 19 by John Milton, entitled On His Blindness. John Milton was born in 1608 and died in 1674. He was a Puritan who served as the Secretary for Foreign Languages in Cromwell's government. Milton is known for his epic Paradise Lost, published in 1667, an epic in 12 books. He published yet another epic, which was shorter in length, Paradise Regained. It is an epic in 4 books, and it was published combined with his closer drama Samson Agonists in 1671. The present sonnet was given the number Sonnet 19 in Trinity manuscript of John Milton before it got finally published in 1673. If we mark at the year of publication, it is a year before Milton's death. Milton died in 1674. The present title, On His Blindness, was given in 18th century by Bishop Thomas Newton. If we talk about the form or the style of the sonnet, it is Italian or Petrarchan in style, a style which Milton adopted for all of his sonnets. Since it is written by Milton, it is also called a Miltonic sonnet. As the title suggests, the sonnet is about the blindness of the poet. Milton got completely blind by the year 1655. The poem is Milton's consideration on his blindness and how his life is going to be after that. The term light in the first line, in the opening line, indicates the eyesight of the poet, and the term ERE, the first word in the second line, is often used archaic word that means before. It is often considered that a healthy human being can live up to 100 years. Milton was not even 50 when he lost his eyesight. He started to lose his eyesight by the end of 1652, when he was 44 years of age. That's why Milton has used the term half my days. So here the days indicates the lifespan. Since he has lost his eyesight, this world, which is a wide world, has become dark for him, an absolute dark, devoid of any kind of light. The term talent in the third line is capitalized, and this term is used for the poetic talent, for the poetic genius that Milton had. It was God gifted. This poetic genius, which no one and nothing could snatch from him except death. But Now the blindness has nullified this talent. There's a pun in the use of the word talent. In a biblical parable from Gospel of Matthew, there's a story of a master who gives 3 coins to his servants before he leaves to somewhere. These 3 coins are termed talent, and when he returns, he asks them back, or he asks whether they used it or not. So this talent, this coin, was given to the poet by his master, by the God himself, and now he is afraid. What would he tell if God asked him the account of the gift which he gave him? Since Milton is blind, he is afraid that he is no more able to use the talent to write poetry in praise of God. And since this talent was given to him by God, he is afraid that God is going to ask for the account of its usage, and Milton would have nothing to tell. But then there's a question that pops up in his mind, and the question is, though the God has given him a talent, poetic genius, but God had snatched the light. God had snatched the eyesight. So, does God still expects him to use that talent? This question indicates that Milton's faith on God has shaken a little bit with the loss of his eyesight. But it is not so. As soon as this doubt comes to his mind that God is going to chide him, that God is going to scold him, that God is so cruel that even though he has taken back his eyesight, still he is going to demand the account of the gift, the account of the talent which he gifted to the poet. So soon the patience of the poet, the inner soul of the poet, answers his doubt, answers this question mentioned in the line 7th of the poem. So these first 8 lines of the sonnet in an Italian or Petrarchan sonnet, this set is known as an octave. The term or the word but in the 8th line or in the last line of the octave begins or mark volta, which is a change in thought, a turn of thoughts. So the volta in the sonnet takes place in the line 8th. So the inner soul of the poet replies him that God has already so many servants to perform his tasks that even if he doesn't use his poetic genius, that even if when he is unable to use it, he can't use his poetic talent, he can't write poetry anymore, God is not going to be harmed by it. God is not going to lose anything. Because there are so many angels who serve him, who perform every task that he commands them to. On a single command of God, they can cross lands and rivers and oceans. They do whatever the God commands without having any rest. And that's why God doesn't need the poet to work for him, or the God doesn't need the gifts back which he has given to human beings. He can do without them if they do not return them to the God. This image of crossing the oceans and land in a speed is pretty much similar to an incident from Indian mythology. अपने भारतीय पुराण में एक पात्र है हनुमान जी, रामायण में। जो कि एक पौराणिक ग्रंथ है। रामायण के अंदर हनुमान जी भगवान श्री राम की सेवा करें और बांका वास्ते जब सीता जी ने ढूंढन जावे तो समुद्र लांग के जावे। समुद्र की लंबाई को जिक्र करते हुए बताए हुए कि समुद्र 400 योजन की दूरी में फैलेडो हो, और भी भारत और या जिस जगह हनुमान जी जावे बठू लेके लंका तक, तो 400 योजन को समुद्र लांग के हनुमान जी जावे। तो इस सोनेट की सेकंड लास्ट लाइन के अंदर जो टर्म काम में लिए गए ओशन, वो हनुमान जी के भी समुद्र लांघन आ रहे जो दृश्य है, जो सीन है, भी वो काफी हद तक मैच करे। और ओशन में पहली एक टर्म है लैंड, और आप देख सकते हैं लैंड और ओशन दोनों कैपिटलाइज्ड है। रामायण में ही थोड़ो सो और आगे चला तो जब युद्ध शुरू हो जाए राम और रावण के बीच में, और मेघनाथ की शक्ति बाणु जब लक्ष्मण जी मूर्छित हो जावे तो हनुमान जी एक बार फिर काफी लंबी दूरी पार करके काफी कम टाइम के अंदर लक्ष्मण जी वास्ते वो पहाड़ उखाड़ के लेके आवे जिन पर सजीवनी बूटी हुए। So the God has so many servants, so many angels, so many divine powers to get his task done. And since Milton has lost his eyesight, and still he wishes to serve God, even to stand by God, have firm faith in Him, to accept whatever pain or happiness He gives to us, to stand in wait for the command of the God, is also a kind of service to the God. Even if you are not even if you are not doing anything in the service of God, but you are standing in wait for His command, it is also a service. This mild yoke, see, in this sestet, how positive Milton is, even when he has lost his eyesight, this big pain that he has received, this uh, blow that he has received in his life, he takes it so lightly that he calls it mild yoke. This mild yoke refers to all the pains that human beings suffer. So, without complaining, when we accept everything that God gives to us, that God does to us, that is also a service. No matter how much we suffer, Milton suggests us that we should never complain against God or His plan. Thank you very much.